Let's go over to the answers to the quiz. So, number one, we had Joseph was a carpenter, and this is about opportunity cost. So for project A, he gets 5 denarii. For project B, he gets 4. And for C, he gets 2. Now, opportunity cost, as you recall, is the value of the next best alternative. So if he's doing project A and he's getting 5, his next best alternative would be project B. So the answer is going to be 4 denarii. Now, some of you guys said it was 6 because you added B and C together. That's not right because the problem says you can only do one of the projects. So you can't do B and C. He can only do B or he can do C, not both. So because B is the one that pays more, B would be the one that would be the next best option. So that's why B is the opportunity cost. Now for number 2, this is just a definition. So definitions I think should be fairly easy points. You just write down and learn the new concepts you come across. So incentives, we said, were factors that motivate a person to act or exert effort. We distinguish between direct and indirect incentives by saying that direct incentives are explicit and indirect incentives are not. An example we had in class was with the teachers and tests. So the direct incentive in that story was that if the students did better on their tests, then the teachers would get paid more. They're told that directly. The indirect incentive, though, which was not stated, was that the teachers were to cheat by changing their students' answers. That could also get them a higher salary. So teachers did respond to that indirect incentive, even though they weren't told about it. They figured it out on their own that cheating could also raise their pay, not just doing better at their job. So that should have been a fairly easy question because you just got to know the definitions. That's a very basic thing to study, but a lot of you guys lost some points on that one. Now, number 3 was about trading comparative advantage. We had a very similar question in class with the hot dogs and the hot dog buns, but this one still caused a lot of issues on the quiz. So here we're looking at not hot dogs and buns rather, but left shoes and right shoes. So first we're trying to figure out who has the comparative advantage in R. So our comparative advantage means lower opportunity cost. So this is one is about which nation gives up less to produce one more R. So we can see for nation X, they have to give up 39L if they're going to make 5R. So you want to find the cost of just 1R. That would be divide both sides by 5. You get 39 over 5. That was going to be the cost of 1R. So that's about 8 left shoes equal 1 right shoe. Now in nation Y, it's reversed. So now I have to give up 5 left shoes to make 39 right shoes. So you go from this point to this point. You have to sacrifice those 5 left to gain those 39R. So that's how I'm getting 5L equals 39R. So to find the cost of just 1 right shoe, we divide both sides by 39. And we get that it's going to be 5/39 of a left shoe, so about 1/8. of a left shoe equals 1 right shoe. So try to figure out who has the lower opportunity cost. So that would be nation Y, because nation Y gives up about 1/8 of a left shoe, whereas nation X gives up around 8 left shoes. And 1/8 is less than 8. So the correct answer for part A was nation Y. Part B is easier, just absolute advantage just means who can produce more, and nation Y can produce more right shoes. All right, so parts C and D, we're looking at if trade creates value. The case with trade is easier, so I'll talk about part D first. So if there's trade, nation X can specialize in what they do best, which is making left shoes. So they make 39 left shoes and no right shoes. Nation Y can focus on their strength, which is making right shoes. So nation Y would make 39 right. So when you combine 39 left with 39 right, that gives you 39 pairs. So that'd be your answer. Now part C requires a bit of math, but it's fairly straightforward. It's just two linear equations for two unknowns. So we gotta find the equation of this line for nation X's PPF. So I'll go write that over here so you can see it. So the intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, and that happens at 39. The slope is the rise over the run, so the rise is 39, and the run is 5, and it's also downward, so that tells you it's minus 39 over 5. So that's X's PPF. Now we also know from the question we want to have equal numbers of left shoes and right shoes. It says done here in so we want to have pairs. So that means Y equals X, left equals right. So now we substitute and solve. So if X equals Y, we can plug that into the top equation. We get X equals 39 minus 39 over 5X. Next step, we can add 39 over 5X to both sides. Now we got to combine these two terms. When you're trying to combine terms, you have to get a common denominator. So we rewrite X as being 5 over 5X. So now they have the same denominator. We can combine them. So 5 over 5 plus 39 over 5 is going to be 44 over 5. Last step, multiply both sides by 5 over 44. And we get that X is going to be 39 times 5 over 44. And 39 times 5 should be 195. Now because X equals Y, that also equals the number of pairs in number for Y. So if X is 195 over 44, then Y is also 195 over 44. By symmetry, nation Y is the same as nation X, so it's going to be the same for Y as well. So the question also asks, when you put the number of pairs together, you just add nation X's with nation Y's. So we just do 195 over 44 plus 195 over 44. And that should give you 390 over 44. If my mental math is right. And that equals, where is my calculator? That's not my calculator. Hang on. There we go. So about 9 pairs, a little bit less than 9 pairs. So as you can see, trade creates value. When the nations can't trade, they can make roughly 9 pairs, a little bit less than 9 pairs. When they can trade, now they can make 39 pairs. So trade creates this extra 30 pairs because it allows each nation to focus on their strengths. For this question, I saw a lot of nonsense. So at the very least, you should be able to see that for each country, the number of pairs should be between 0 and 5. So you need both a left shoe and a right shoe to make a pair. And nation X can make at most 5 right shoes. There's no way they're making more than 5 pairs. But somehow I saw some answers that were well above 5 for that part of the question. And similarly, by the same logic, nation Y is making no more than 5 pairs. So you combine it together. If each nation is making less than 5 individually, then combined should be less than 10. But I saw some numbers that were very much implausible. So those are the answers to quiz 1. Hopefully you guys do better on quiz 2.